Sephora sale is finally here. It is so exciting. Hi everybody, my name's Catherine. I'm a beauty and reselling enthusiast, so if those are things that you like to watch, consider subscribing before you go. Today's video is going to be building up my Sephora cart for this year's savings event. So if that is something you want to watch, then stick around. So this video is going to be following my recommendations video, which I will link up in the corner for you if you want to hear about all the stuff that I actually recommend if you are choosing to shop the sale this season. And this video is actually going to be me shopping my loves list and putting things in my cart and seeing what I'm going to be purchasing during this season's events. So just a quick recap, the Sephora Savings Event starts on Halloween, so October 31st for Rouge members, and then we'll open up to VIB and Insiders on November 4th. And it's a tiered system, so Rouge gets 20% off, VIB gets 15% off, and then Insiders get 10% off. And then what I love is that Sephora collection is actually open to everybody, and you get 30% off. Everybody gets 30% off starting on October 31st, and every tier system ends, the whole sale ends on November 10th. You do need to use the code EVERYTHING to get that discount off. Now, a huge disclaimer, I don't want to be tone deaf coming at this video with where we are at in the US. So I live in United States, I live in Arizona, and as of November 1st, our government is shut down basically, and food benefits, so our SNAP benefits for people who need to, can't afford food, who are of a certain income, a lower income, are basically going to be stopping because the government shut down. And so I was thinking about when I was filming this video, I really don't want to be tone deaf with it. Like, I want to acknowledge that there are a lot of hardships going on, and makeup is definitely not a need at all. I am doing this for my own fun, my own coping mechanism basically. I am very fortunate to be able to have an income. My husband also works full-time, and I squirrel away a lot of money throughout the year in order to be able to shop this sale. I have been doing research of how can I be of support for people who are affected by this government shutdown, and will be doing my part in how I can donate my time, donate my money, more specifically donate food to food pantries and things like that. And I urge you to do the same if you are in a position to do so. So I do like to talk about how I save for this event, because all of this money that I'm going to be using basically does not exist to me at this point, or I have already spent it and it's come back to me in some sort of way. And I know that's kind of weird to think about. So one of the ways that I like to save for this event is actually using some savings apps called Fetch and Pogo. Those are the two that I use pretty frequently, and my referral links will be down below. I will say, if you do decide to sign up for them, I do get a little bit of a kickback in points, which basically equates to money. It's not much money, but it adds up over time. If you are also interested in using cashback apps like that, kind of similar to Rakuten in a sense, but a little bit different because it uses like physical receipts and online receipts. If you sign up, you'll learn more about it. That's not a video to talk about like everything about Fetch, but I have accumulated a certain amount of money, and you can redeem them for gift cards. And one of the gift cards that I do every 6 months, because this savings event happens every 6 months, is a Sephora gift card or an Ulta gift card, whatever it may be at the time. So I do have some money from that. I have money from Pogo, which basically goes into a PayPal account, and then I also have money in my PayPal account from things that I've sold from You For Me. I always list my kind of description video of You For Me down below. It's basically a beauty reselling website that sells new and gently used beauty products, and so basically all the things that I send there that get sold go into my PayPal account, and I just basically save it up for these events. So this money like doesn't exist, or in the sense of You For Me, I've already spent it on like subscription boxes and items that I wasn't going to use in those subscription boxes. And I will tell you, some items sold for a pretty penny. So I'm like making money off of this. I will say it's probably not a good strategy to get subscription boxes just to resell the items to make more money. It just so happens there were a few products that had very high retail values that resold for pretty well, and I'm recouping that money and, you know, making some of that money back. So that is where that money comes from. But now we got our red wine, we got a full face of makeup. Look at this, 2 days in a row. Who am I curling my hair and doing my makeup? If you've watched my channel at all, I as much as I love makeup, I also I haven't been a huge proponent of wearing a lot of makeup recently, but the last few days of October, I've just been inspired to do it. And I'm off this whole week of work. I take Halloween very seriously. We do up our front yard. We do a whole haunted house in our garage. So I take the whole week off in order to build that. And because I have some extra time, I've been filming a little bit more. I've been getting ready a little bit more. I feel pretty good about myself. I haven't curled my hair in a really long time, and I really do enjoy it. All right, now I'm just babbling, but let's get into building this cart. So before we get into my loves list and adding things to my cart, I want to show you a little bit of a montage of me going into Sephora and swatching some things out. I always recommend, if you have the opportunity, to go into Sephora, do some swatches, see what's going to work for you to reduce waste of things, because you know, I've been catfished too many times when things are online and they look super beautiful. They look like they're going to work for me. And then when I get them in person, it's like, this is a whole different color. So I do like to take my time to go into Sephora. Like, I will spend hours in there and swatching. When I went in there, I don't know if they were just being like extra nice to me and they kept asking me if I needed help, but like I had swatches all down my arm. I'm afraid they thought I was like stealing something. I don't know, because I was in there for so long. Or maybe they just wanted the commission from it. That probably is a better thought than what I was stealing, if I was stealing. But anyways, here's my montage of swatching things out, and then we'll get to my loves list.
I know it would be goodbye, my love. When did the close of forever come, my love? All I recall was a stare that was vacant and cold. Where did the spark go, the warmth that once stole my soul?
welcome to my Sephora Loves list. It is quite the list. So basically what I do throughout the year or throughout the 6 months when when these sales come up is I will save things to my loves list or to my cart and just kind of keep them there until these sales happen, and I go through them and I make my final selections for everything. So we are going to go one by one and we're just going to talk it out. We're going to see what I want or what I am going to forego this savings event, keeping in mind my budget that I have up here. So first off is the Huda Beauty Blush Filter Blurring Blush Lighters palette. This is a new item that literally just came out. It comes in 3 different shades. We have, what are the shades? Toasty Peach, which is a no. I don't want any peach. A baby pink. No, I don't want baby pink. The one that I landed on has been Roseberry, a diffused blend of rosewood, mauve, and dusty rose tones. And I have been having an affinity for kind of mauvey berry blush, well, blush in general. But when it comes down to tones of it, ranging anywhere from like dusty rose beigey all the way to like mauvey berries. That's kind of been my obsession as of recently. So when this came out, I immediately was like, ooh, I kind of like that. So the only thing is I have I really don't love blush. I don't really love palettes, like face palettes in general, because there's always going to be some shades that I just don't feel like I'm going to love. But when I go up into this kind of the swatches of everything in this particular roseberry shade, I am fair with cool neutral leaning undertones, so that's gonna be the swatches that I'm going to look at. These are what they look like. So berry fizz, pink velvet, strawberry cream, and bronze berry. It looks really beautiful. It does look really beautiful. I just don't know if I'm gonna get use out of that strawberry cream one. That seems a little bit too pinky for me. The berry fizz I might get use out of as a topper. I don't know. It looks really pretty, but I'm not convinced. So I will say that I did go in store and swatched a lot of these things first, just to be really mindful. I don't want to buy something that I'm going to then just return, because that's just a waste. So I did go in, I went and I swatched some stuff to see if I liked it. This hadn't come out yet when I went and swatched stuff, so I didn't get to see it in person. I think I'm just gonna pass on this for right now. I'm gonna pass on this. I'll keep it in my loves list and see if anything changes. So the next product is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. I remember this being on my loves list the year before, and I opted to not purchase it. But there was, I don't know, I get influenced pretty easily by people. So I think somebody had talked about this and I put it back in my loves list. So the color that I have picked out is Gentle or Fair Cool Taupe, which is definitely something that would work better for me, being very fair and cool and undertone, and kind of more of like a bronzer, so bronzy contour type of thing. I feel like that would be really nice. Kind of going to the pictures, that's really pretty. That's really pretty, not gonna lie. Also, let me know. So if you've tried any of these things out, please let me know your experiences with them. Has a pretty high rating. Almost 5-star rating. Let's see. My computer is gonna be running really slow. I have a lot of tabs open. So let's see. People said they absolutely love this, especially somebody with fair, cool skin tone to use as a bronzer. It's perfect. Diarrhea bad. Orange, don't buy. Oh, okay. All right. Somebody also with fair skin tone. It didn't stay put. Meh, but blends beautiful. All right. So the reviews I'm seeing are not showing super 5 stars, but this I think is going to be something that trying to think to my collection too. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna add to this. I'm gonna add this to my basket for right now, and we'll see where things go, because we're gonna be doing a lot of uh, moving things around. All right, so we have that. The next one is the Balance and Glow Illuminating Baked Powder Foundation. And I had put this in here because in my recommendations, I recommended the BareMinerals foundation. And so I was kind of in the air of like, oh, I kind of like these powder foundations. I do have this one, but I have it in like a super pale color, and it does not work for me, so I was kind of thinking about the next color up, but I do think this is something that's going to stay in my loves list, and I'm going to try to find it in store, or I know it says online only, so this is just something that's probably going to stay in my loves list for right now, and I'm not ready to make a move on. The next items are going to be the Tower 28 Get Set Blur and Set Matte Powder Blush. I have two shades, so let me pull up one of them. So we have Samo Spritzer and Long Beach Iced Tea. I will tell you, with my blush affinity, it has kind of ranged from like the textures of the blushes that I like, but most of them are leaning more towards like kind of a glowy type of blush. So with this being a matte blush, I was a little like iffy about it. And again, I do remember at one time, I feel like I did swatch these and I wasn't like maybe super impressed by them, but since my blush preferences have changed thus far, I would be interested to give them a go. So here's the one shade, the Samo Spritzer, so at the very bottom on the fair skin tone, and then the Long Beach Iced Tea is up there. I'm afraid with the Long Beach Iced Tea, it's going to be a little bit too bronzy on me. I don't know. This was another one I wish I would have seen in store, but some of these things I added to my loves list after the fact that I was in the store. But that does look really pretty. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to add both those shades to my cart, and then at the very end, we are going to see where we're at. And I'll probably off camera make some changes to it to see. Alright, so we'll add those to my cart. You're going to see a lot of blushes in this video if I didn't say that. You're going to see a lot of them. Alright, so the next one is from Ciel. This is their Blush and Protect SPF 50 Plus Liquid Blush. So again, two different shades. We have Bahati and Kirsty. So let's pull up. This one is Kirsty, a warm nude. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that does look really pretty. I will also say I have combo oily skin, so when it comes to cream products, as much as I love cream products, sometimes they don't sit very well. Sometimes they can be a little bit too emollient for me. Yeah, so I have to be a little bit careful with that. But let's kind of see these side by side. So here's the Kirsty one on a fair skin tone. Really pretty, is that kind of warm tone. And then here's the Bahati one. I wish they kind of would have used the same model so I could really tell. Those are both really pretty though. Let's see what the reviews are. So 347, almost 5-star reviews. And so how I check my reviews to make sure that they are true reviews is I will say non-incentivized, and then I'll also go to skin tone so I can kind of see people who are my similar skin tone. Okay, so this person didn't share what shade that they had. Beautiful color and blends amazing. Only thing I wish it lasted longer. Okay, so that's something I'm a little bit concerned about, is how long they're gonna last. These smell horrible. I had to toss mine. Waste. Oh, that's not good. Somebody's saying you want this with the Bahati color. Amazing color. Such a great blend. Perfect amount of pigment for normal people. I don't know who normal people are. these smell off to me. Okay, so some people are saying that they smell off. So that's another thing. With these being SPF, I have a feeling they are going to not last as long. Okay, I have to think about that because I have such a large blush collection that these are going to expire quicker than normal because of that active ingredient. Ooh, okay, so I might keep them on my loves list for now and wait till I see them in person to actually really test if I want them. All right, another blush, surprise, surprise, is from the Glossier Cloud Paint Plush Blush. So I did swatch these in store, and these are very interesting texture. I'm gonna have a few on my loves list, a few different shades, I should say. These are very interesting texture. They're kind of like thin and slick and plushy, but very pigmented. Very, very interesting type of texture. If you have the chance to go in store to swatch these, I would suggest it. So some of the shades that I had on my loves list, this initial shade, this Float or Rosy Mauve, I actually did not have on my loves list until I swatched them. This one I think seemed to be the one that would work best for me. So here is the swatches on different skin tones. So the ones that I had in my cart or in my loves list, which one was it? This Gale one. So kind of that beigey one. When I swatched it, it was quite beigey and like too yellow for me. So I don't think that one's going to work. But then that Float one, that one seems really pink. What is that Bloom one seems really pretty. Is that the one that I initially meant? Because that Bloom one seems, it's right below that hot pink one is Bloom, and then the next one is Float, which is the one that I'm currently looking at, but that looks pretty pink. And then the other one I was looking at is Storm, which is the second to the bottom. That one, although is very pretty, is very pigmented, and I think would be too dark for me. I do have that one in the Cloud Paint like liquid version that I haven't used this year yet. I think I'm going to save that for my November Shop My Stash to use, which is a lot more transparent and not as opaque as these are. I mean, these are pigmented. And that was just the swatch though, so I don't really know what they would look like, not like kind of buffed out on this cheek, but they seem quite pigmented. So let's look at that Bloom one. That one seemed really pretty. So here's the Gale one, that tawny mauve, which again, in the picture looks like it would be perfect for me. I would love that. But when I swatched it, it was pretty kind of peachy yellow, which is not going to work for me. So I'm trying to find that Bloom one. That's bright pink. Bloom is baby cool pink? What the hell? Okay. So here are the names of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down is Bloom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that is the hot pink one. Okay, and then the one below it is Flow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. No, I was right with the Flow one. That's the one that I want, but below the hot pink one. Okay. They need to do a better job of noting those. Okay, so Float. I'm getting all confused. I think I'm gonna put Float in my basket. So when I swatched it, I was very curious about it. I was like I didn't know how to feel about it, but I was curious. So that is kind of making me lean more towards that, is that I have a curiosity. Okay, so the next few I know that I'm going to be adding to my cart, and the first one is the Makeup Forever Artist Crayon Multi-Use Stick in Swanky Mauve. So I have a few more in my cart that you'll see that are in different shades, and when I went to go swatch them, I don't think I initially had this one on my loves list, but when I swatched it, I was very impressed with the color. So this one is Swanky Mauve. So this is supposed to be something that you can use like on your lips, your eyes, your cheeks. Some of them, they say like, oh, you shouldn't use them there, even though they're advertised as like a multi-stick. They say, oh, don't use this one for your lips, so, or don't use this one for your eyes. So it's kind of a little bit misnomer there. But this Swanky Mauve one, man, it was pretty when I swatched it. It was real pretty. So I think I'm going to add this one to my cart. And then the other shades I had were, I think it was Wherever Walnut was a little bit too red for me. And then I think Anywhere Caffeine was a little bit too brown for me. So although those are pretty classic colors in the Makeup Forever line, they just didn't work for me. They might have worked a little bit better if like in a like lip liner or something like that, but as far as a multi-stick, they weren't for me. So we're gonna go with Swanky Mauve. Another thing is the Sephora Collection Pro Blush Brush 99. This was in one of my recommendation videos. Actually, it's been in multiple, but it was in my most recent one as well. Love this brush for my cream products, and the one that I currently use now is, I use it mostly for my cream bronzers, but I don't really wash my brushes that often as much as I should, so it's nice to have another one around to use it for other cream products, so I'm definitely going to add that to my basket, and especially with it being 30% off, heck yeah, I'm going to add it to my basket. And then this one was, I said I love to hate this, or sure, I hate to love this, that's a better way of putting it, is because it is so expensive, but it works. I talk more about it in my recommendations video, but I'm definitely going to be adding this to my basket, and I'm picking up in the full size one, because I got the trial size one, obviously just to try it out, and I didn't want to spend $48 on it, but for sure I'm going to be picking up a full-size one. So this next one, I actually saw it in store. This was not on my radar online, and I was so happy when I was looking it up that they actually have a mini size of it. Who doesn't love a good old mini size product? So this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Cream Blush Stick in the shade Dusty Rose, a neutral rosy mauve. I mean, can we sense a theme of the colors that I'm going for? So when I swatched this, it was very, very beautiful. Really, really liked it. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put this in my cart. So we are going to add that. And again, $16 minus 20% off for a mini. I love that. I love that for me. So we are going to pick that one up. More blushes, of course. So we have the YSL Make Me Blush 24-Hour Blurring Liquid Blush, and the shade that I am loving is Fig Fantasy, another mauvey pink. Let's see. I swatched this. It was gorgeous on the skin. In this promo picture, it looks a little bit more purpley than what it is. When I swatched it, I felt like it was a little bit more browny, like still mauvey, but a little browny as well. So I really, really, really did like this. So definitely going to be picking this one up. Moving right along to the Haus Labs by Lady Gaga. This is their Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm Contour Stick. So I did swatch this in a few different shades. The first one being the very lightest shade, which I think is, what is that one? Shadow? Come on now. Computer's taking a while. Profile. So this is Shadow for fair to light skins with neutral to rosy undertones. And this was quite gray on me in store. And so, like I said earlier, I kind of like mine to be a little bit more bronzery, and this would have been very contoury, which technically it is a contour stick, so like I don't fault it for that, but for the purpose that I want it to be, I want it to be kind of in the middle. So when I swatched it, that bottom one is the Profile, so kind of gray. The one above it, which is in Chisel, that's more of the shade that I want. So there's a few in my loves list that I'm kind of eyeing, but I'm gonna put this one in there just for now so I don't forget about it. But I think there's another one too that I have in there. Okay, so a few products that I think I'm just going to be passing on, and this is just because they intrigue me, but not enough to purchase them at this time. And the first one is the NARS Multiple Soft Blur Blush Stick for cheeks, eyes, and lips. The shade that I had originally listed was in Behave. again, you can kind of see it's this like beigey peachy. I have swatched some of these in store, like at Ulta when I've been there a few times, and none of them are like pulling me in. Like they're pretty, but they're not pulling me in like some of the other blushes. So I'm gonna pass on those. Another item was this MPH by Mary Phillips. So this is a new brand. Mary Phillips is a makeup artist. I had never heard of her before the brand came out. But the item is called Lip Siggy Sheer Lipstick Balm. I will say I'm not super loving the cigarette reference, but whatever. The shade in particular is Overdrive, which is a sheer cool taupe brown. And when I did swatch this in store, it was really pretty. It is really pretty, but it is so teeny tiny. It is so teeny tiny. Like, is the product in the room with us kind of teeny tiny? So this is something like, it's really beautiful. It is really beautiful, but I think that Overdrive color, that looks a little bit warmer and like more opaque than what it looks like in person, but I don't think that's the journey I'm on. I've really slowed down in picking up lip items. I mean, I've accelerated in picking up blushes, but have really slowed down in picking up lip items because I don't use it as much. As I have another lip item that we'll talk about in just a bit. So my next item that I have on my loves list is the Givenchy Prism Libre Blurring and Color Correcting Matte Pressed Powder. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this, that it's like the reformulated version of the loose powder, which I have the loose powder pre-reformulation and I do enjoy it. I think it's nice. But I don't think I need a pressed powder version. Like I was thinking more for underneath the eyes, but there's something that's coming up that I think I'm going to like more for underneath the eyes. So I'm going to pass on that one. But we do have the Merit Flush Balm Cream Blushes, which was another recommendation that I had. I really do like these. Now, with combo oily skin, I do have to be a little bit careful because these are more on the balmy side, but I've noticed if I kind of like use them along with a powder blush, they work really well, or even just like a powder in general, kind of putting a little bit more attention to it. I really do like it. So of course there was a couple shades that I liked. First one being Archival, which is a cool mauve. Surprising nobody. So I'm going to add that one to my basket because I liked that one for sure. And then there was another one, I think it was Fox. Yeah, Fox, which is a warm taupe. I really liked that one too. So I'm going to add that one to my basket. Now, the one that got me to love all this was in the shade Bespoke, a medium brown pink. This one is so pretty. I love this one. The color is so gorgeous. So here is kind of a peek at all the shades. So the one that I really like is Bespoke. The one above it, Fox, I just put in my cart, and then Archival. I did swatch Cheeky as well, and I felt like that one was a little bit too pinky. Like I know on the swatch it looks more mauvey purple, but if I remember correctly, it was pretty pinky and not what I was loving. So I think the Archival one is going to work better for me. I'll have to look back to my pictures because, like I said, I swatched majority of this stuff out and I tried to take pictures of things that if I had multiple shades of everything, and I'm pretty sure it was Archival that I liked and not Cheeky. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Archival. So another blush, this is Refi Cream Blush. I think I had a few different shades in this one as well that I was kind of interested in. So the first one was Rose, fresh pink with neutral undertones. That feels like I would not be interested in that. I mean, that's pretty, but I make these loves lists like really far in advance, so sometimes I will go back to them and be like, what was I thinking? So here are the shades. Yeah, that rose one it's beautiful, but I think it seems pretty light. And I'm liking a little bit more contrast in my skin, and I don't know. I haven't really heard too much about these and just like not super interested in them. They could be great, but I just don't think I'm like vibing with them at this moment. Now, here's another lip product that I think I will pick up, and damn it if a Instagram ad or Facebook ad didn't get me. So you'll see in a little bit we're going to talk about the YSL blushes, and of course I got an Instagram or whatever ad, and this beautiful woman wearing one of the blushes, and she also had this as her her lipstick, and this is the Love Shine lip oil stick in the shade Rosewood Blush or Soft Rosewood, and it was really pretty. I think what I liked most about it is that she had a really pretty lip liner underneath and then had this on top, because I've had a YSL Love Shine lip oil stick and I think I decluttered it, but I am really, really intrigued to see if this would be just as pretty as it was on her, if it would be that pretty on me. So I think I'm gonna put it in my cart for now. And like I said, I'm gonna finalize my cart later. But I think I might need to talk myself out of that one. Because in reality, a lot of they're very sheer, and you need a lot to really build them up. So a lot of the shades are pretty similar. I don't know. I might talk myself out of that one in a bit. All right, so here is another Glossier Cloud Paint. This one's in Gale. We already talked about that shade is just not going to work for me. We have Rhode Pocket Blush Hydrating Cream Blush. This was also in my recommendations in a few different shades, Toasted Teddy and Tan Lines. And I had one more shade that I was interested in, and can we guess it's a mauve? So this is Sleepy Girl in Soft Mauve. Really, really beautiful. Ooh, got the hiccups now. Really beautiful. So here's a difference between Sleepy Girl Soft Mauve and Toasted Teddy, which is a bronze terracotta, and then Tan Lines, which is a pinky, sorry, my thing can only go so low, pinky tan. I like this formula, kind of similar to Merit. I have to be kind of careful with it because it can be kind of like extra hydrating on my skin. So this is another one that I layer with like a powder blush or just powder in general. So I think I'm going to add it to my cart just for now. And when I do my finalization, we might make some adjustments to it. Alright, so more CL blushes. Now this is the powder blush. I actually did swatch these in store and wasn't super loving the colors, so I think I'm gonna pass on that. So this color is in Cozy, and then we have another color in Ruddy. They weren't for me. So we're gonna pass over that. Here's another bronzing stick. I knew there was another one besides the House Labs one. So this one I swatched in store as well, and I thought was pretty. So the shade that I think would work for me is 01 Light, or Contour for very light to light skin. I'm gonna have to think about this between the House Labs and the Dior one, because I think when I swatched them pretty close to each other, they were pretty similar. So I don't need to be buying I was just about to say, I don't need to be buying the same product over and over and over again, as I have about 35 mauve blushes in my cart. But yeah, I'm just being silly. But the blushes, I will say, like, I'm just in my blush phase, so I have more affinity to them, and like I'm gonna purchase more blushes just because that's what's interesting to me at this time compared to bronzers. But we'll see. So I'm gonna put this in my cart to finalize later. This is just like a first pass. Just a first pass of things. Okay, so now we're going to the Dior Rosy Glow Powder Blushes, and as you can see, I have a few shades here. One of them in Rosewood and one of them in Toffee. I really liked, I did like the Toffee color when I swatched it in person. It has a nice like sheen to it, but it was a little bit too peachy yellow for me, so I think I'm going to pass on it. And then the Rosewood one, I wasn't really loving the shade, so I think I'm going to pass on those. But you let me know, because I think these have been reformulated from the last time that the Dior blushes came out. I do have that like super pinky one that I think I might be decluttering at the end of this year, because like it was fine for me, but again, I'm not kind of in that pinky blush type of era anymore. And if I remember correctly, it didn't really stay on my skin for too long. So I don't know. If you've tried the reformulated one, let me know. So here's that other CL blush. We have Ready and apparently another one in Shy as well. So on to the Yves Saint Laurent Make Me Blush 24-hour buildable powder blush. I had a few of these in my cart, and I will say that I've already picked up the one that I want to pick up, and I'm very glad that I swatched these because it's going to save me a lot of money. So the one that I picked up was Hot Mauve Warm Rosy Taupe Matte. So I just picked this up outside of the sale, and when I swatched it in person, it's very beautiful. And the other shades that I wanted was Nude Lavalier because I kind of liked that like purpley mauve look, but when I swatched it in person, it was very pink golden kind of looking. Like it didn't look like this. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. But even so, like Hot Mauve looks more beigey than what it actually is in person. So I feel like these swatches are pretty off and you need to go see them in person. The other one that I had in my cart was Rose Haze. It was a little bit too pinky for me in person, so I'm going to pass on that. I have the one that I want. Now, one that I did not get to swatch in store was the Sarah Creel Face Flex Concealer and Complexion Enhancer with Caffeine. This was something that, I forget who recommended this, but somebody recommended it, and I added it to my cart and really haven't thought about it since. So the shade that I would be picking up is 1.0 or Fair Light Cool. And let's see. Do they have a... Oh, that's Fair Warm. I was going to say they have a lighter one, 0.5 in Fair Warm, but I'm not warm at all. So here are the shades compared against each other. So let's read about this because I have not read about this. A medium coverage, visibly brightening concealer moisturizing foundation that corrects the appearance of dark circles and blemishes for 12 hours. It's medium, natural finish, liquid formula, has hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and aloe leaf extract. I've never tried a product from Sarah Creel before, but again, I've heard that she has some nice products. $58! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. For a concealer, that's hard. That's hard to do. Oof. Okay. I'm going to add it to my basket, and that's probably going to come out of my basket later. But dang, $58. Whew. Alrighty. So coming into some repeats, like we said, the toffee one, not going to get. The Ciel one, that color looks kind of pretty though. Let's see. What is this one? In Shy. Ooh, that does look kind of pretty. Very, very berry-like. Those look like, okay. Are there differences in those arms? Like those first two arms look like the same arm. And then we have a little bit of a deeper skin tone. I wish the gradient of the skin tones was a little bit different. Alright, which was that Shy. Ooh, okay. That looks too reddish berry for me, so we will pass on that one. We already talked about Storm. Although that Storm color looks really pretty, I think it's just going to be too intense on my skin. Then we have Armani Beauty Eye Tint Long Lasting Liquid Shadow. I did pick up a few liquid shadows from Gen C that I haven't tested yet, but are supposedly meant for like super oily eyelids, and I picked something up in a very similar shade, so I think I'm going to pass on the liquid eyeshadows at this moment. Now, one product that is killing me that is not in stock because it's the one that I want the most is the Farrah Hamidi Essential Bronzer in the shade Boyce. Beautiful, like cool tone, shimmery bronzer, everything that I'm looking for. And of course, this shade is out of stock. It's out of stock on her website. It's out of stock everywhere, or else I would have picked it up before already. So this is beige tan with cool pink undertones, like exactly what I look for in a bronzer. Ugh, gorgeous. Like, look at that. Look at that. So pretty. Ugh. And it's been out of stock for a long time now. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. So moving forward with the Armani Golden Hour 24-hour lightweight skin tint with hyaluronic acid. I think I put this in my cart when it initially came out, and I just like haven't really thought about it since, so I'm not going to really worry about it. This other Makeup Forever multi-stick and glazed rose. I did swatch this. It was pretty, but not something that I absolutely need. Now we have Rouge Per Couture Caring Satin Lipstick with Ceramides in Beige Trench. I don't remember putting this in my cart. A warm nude. Let's see. A warm nude. What are we with these funky angles? What the heck? Okay, so what is this? N1. N1. I mean, that's pretty. It is pretty, that very top one. It's interesting how it looks pink on the other skin tones. It's pretty, but I don't think I need to spend that much money on a lipstick, so we will forego that one. Okay, so then we're moving into the Huda Beauty Mini Baby Blush Duo Set. I do love a little baby blush, and I do really enjoy this Huda Beauty formula. You do have to work a little bit quickly with it, and it can be pretty pigmented. The shades that I have are Coco Loco and Latte. Really beautiful shades. Even though they're quite dark and I'm quite fair, they still work out. Like you have to kind of finagle them a little bit, but they are still really pretty. So this little duo comes in Strawberry Cream and Black Cherry. So here is Strawberry Cream, and I already said in the powder version, I didn't love the strawberry cream one, but in the liquid version, it's kind of pretty. And then the other shade is Black Cherry. That one also looks kind of pretty. I think I'm going to put this in my cart. I think I'm going to put it in my cart. I think it might also come out of my cart later, but I think I'm going to put it in my cart. Okay. Here we have the Ilias Lip Sketch Hydrating Lipstick and Lip Liner Crayon in Banquet. Didn't I say earlier that I was kind of like good on lip products and I probably don't need another lip product? Probably applies to this. I'm really trying to use up my lip liner that I have, my ColourPop Oh Snap. That's in my Beauty MG's challenge, and I've been using it the past few days to kind of use it up, but that's a really pretty color. It is really pretty. What is that? Untitled. Where's Banquet? Where's Banquet? There's Banquet. That is really pretty. But I think I'm going to forego it at this time. And then we have Kulfi Main Match Crease Proof Longwear Hydrating Concealer. Now the only thing that I've tried from Kulfi, and again, something in my recommendations list, is their mascara. And I would totally be purchasing another one in this sale if I didn't already have tons of mascaras that I needed to go through. So I think I'm going to forego the mascara, but I was interested in their concealer because I do love a crease-proof longwear concealer. So the shade that I was looking at was Bad Badam. Okay. Which is very light with neutral pink undertones. I do like my concealer to be kind of brightening underneath the eye, not like super like super distinct, but I like it to be brightening. And I think this one would work. I did swatch this in store. And I always have a hard time swatching like complexion products in store because I swatch them on my arm, and I feel like they always look kind of yellow on my arm and dark compared to on my face. So I didn't get a very good read on this one, but I'm gonna add it to my cart anyways. And we we'll take a look between the Sarah Creel and the Colfi. I mean, this one's $26 compared to $58. Oh, such a price discrepancy. Okay, so moving on to another Armani product, we have the Luminous Silk Blurring Natural Glow Powder Blush in the shade 11. What is the shade 11? I don't like it when they just name them numbers. I like them when they have the actual name. So this is Warm Nude. So this would be really beautiful in the summertime. I do love a warm nude in the summertime, but do I want them, am I in love with it at this moment? Like, should I save this for my spring savings event compared to the fall savings event? Because I have an Armani one blush in my collection, and I don't really remember what I think about it. Alright, I'm going to add that to my basket and we'll think on it later. Because that basket total is definitely not in my budget. Not in my budget. Alright, so we already talked about the Yves Saint Laurent. So here's that nude lavalier one that is like a catfish. Like in theory, I think it would look really pretty, but it's not gonna work for me. So Makeup of Mario, the Master Mattes Long Weary Cream Eyeshadow. I had the shade Mauve, and I think there was like another shade in there too that I really enjoyed. But like I said, I'm gonna hold off on getting any cream eyeshadows because I want to test out. Ooh, that is really pretty though. I do want to test out. Oh, it's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna add this one to my cart. I was gonna say I do want to test out the eyeshadows that I got from Gen C and see if I like those, but that's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my cart. You're just getting all the commentary that's in my head normally. I'm just verbalizing it now. Anywhere Caffeine, we're gonna pass on Cali Ray Blurry Blush Longwear Cream Blush. I love a cream and I love when it says longwear. In the shade Dope, which is a rosy mauve. Oh. That's pretty, but it seems very pinky. Yeah, okay, we can forego that one. The One Size by Patrick Starr, this is their mattifying sunscreen with this setting sunscreen in it. I have tried the one without sunscreen before, and I did enjoy it, but it's not something that I absolutely want to purchase at this moment. Jo Malone London Raspberry Ripple Cologne. I remember putting this in here a long ass time ago. What are the notes of this? I do like some Jo Malone fragrances, like the ginger biscuit. Ooh, if you want a gourmand, like fall winter scent and you like gourmand spicy, you would like that. It's really nice. So this one is Red Currant Raspberry White Musk. I am gonna pass on this one just because I would rather not blind buy it. Oh my gosh, I just looked further ahead. We still have some more to go. I think it'll be easier because the ones on the bottom are gonna be like ones that I've really forgotten about. So here's the Say Super Suede Talc-Free Powder Blush. This one I did have to swatch in store because there were a few different shades that I was like kind of between and just didn't know if I want to get all of them or some of them. So the one that I initially had in my cart was Chow, which is a soft golden brown, but when I swatched it, it is quite brown on me. And then I really liked the shade Mia because it looks more mauve-y, but when I put it on my skin, it's more rosy, like more rosy pink. And then I also really liked Grazy, which was more of a berry tone for me. So I think I'm gonna go, yeah, here you can see Mia is like pretty rosy. And then Grazy is a little bit more on the berry side of stuff. So I think I'm gonna put Grazy in my cart and I'm going to forego the rest of them. Now, one thing that I might not have put in my loves list that I'm interested in was the the other powder. Yes, here we go. Slip Tint Undetectable Baked Setting Powder. Oh, yeah, and then the liquid blush. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's too many things. Okay, so this one was very interesting. So it does have like a luminosity to it, like almost highlightery luminosity to it, but I was interested to see how it would look underneath my eyes. And the texture of these were really beautiful, very similar to the blushes, like really nice texture to everything. So I'm going to put this in my cart in the translucent shade. And we're going to move on. So another Sarah Creel, Just Like Paradise 12-Hour Peptide Sculpting Cream Bronzer. What shade did I have? Light Golden Bronze, Fair to Light Skin Tone. That's pretty, but a little bit more on the golden side compared to what I want. Okay, so we're trying to make things easy for us to get it out of our cart. The Sephora Collection Colorful Blush, I had the shade Shame on You. I've decluttered some of these blushes before because they weren't very pigmented, so I'm just not even gonna go there. Even though if you liked those, if you like the texture of them, $14 minus 30% off, great price for them. The ones that I had were just not very pigmented. I couldn't even tell you what the shades were. So then we have a few more Armani ones. We're going to pass on those. We have another Makeup by Mario one. We're going to pass on that. I don't need to buy like multiple shades of it if I already don't know what I want from it. So we're going to pass on that. This I'm like interested in, the One Size Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. So again, I have combo oily skin, and I've heard wonderful things that this just like melts everything together, but the people that I'm also hearing from it, well, it's out of stock anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But the people that I'm hearing from are dry, and so I don't know if this would work for oily combo skin. I mean, even though it says that, I don't know if it's actually going to work for that. So this is out of stock anyways, so we won't even bother worrying about it. This Peachy Nude blush, we're going to forego. Same thing with the NARS, same thing with the Refi. I don't need another lip gloss. Apparently I had it in 2 different shades. Same thing with the Armani. We have that in a different shade. NARS in a different shade. The Merit Signature Lip Liner. Now, I did pick this one up in Bespoke last time, and I've used it a few times, and it is really pretty. It was a little bit more cool toned than what I was anticipating it as, but it's a very, very sheer lip liner. Almost like a lip gloss. Like, this is not a lip liner that I feel like is going to stay and be crispy on your lip. It's a pretty soft, sheer lip liner. Very pretty, but not something that I feel like I need another one of. Okay, 27 more products. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, and then we're getting into some of the good stuff too. Alright, so the good stuff is the Haus Labs Blush Balm, and I know I'm going to be getting a couple of these for sure. So I had originally gotten one in a shade that I didn't absolutely love, but it came in a subscription box, and I basically used that just to test out the formula, if I would like the formula, and surprisingly enough, I really did like the formula. So one of them that I want to get is Glassy Ginger, for sure. Oh my gosh, that cart is looking pretty high. Okay, so Glassy Ginger. The other one was Glassy Hibiscus for sure. And then what was the other one? I need to look at all of them swatched together to remember. Was it cinnamon? Was it clove? Which one was it? It's in my... I took a picture of it. Was it this one? Was it clove? Clove is really pretty too. Alright, I'm going to add this to my cart as a reminder to look at the pictures of the ones that I took, so I know which ones that I swatched out. Okay, so I did swatch the Prada eyeliners. They were very pretty, very opaque, but not spending that much money on an eyeliner, especially if I don't really use eyeliners that much. Now, Um, another Say blush. This one is in Spicy. This is Warm Terracotta. This one was really pretty too when I swatched it out. Kind of that, yeah, warm terracotta shade. Very pretty. So I'm gonna pick that one up as well. I already have the shade Lady, which is one I really wanted to. I picked that up before the sale as well. I have some stuff in my that I need to haul that I haven't hauled yet. Okay, so we're gonna forego the Sephora collection one, the Bobbi Brown one. I just don't really have any time for that. I heard the Merit uniform is pretty good. Actually, I've heard some mixed results about it. The Mia one, we already have the shade that I want. The Armani powder, I think we already have the one that I want. Again, Merit lip liner, we're gonna forego. Summer Fridays blush, I don't know. I'm just not super excited about that. Same thing with the lip liner from Anastasia. Not super excited. Ooh, this one. The Kosas Blush is Life. What was the one that I wanted? I think it was Swoon. Yeah, Swoon. Pinky Brown Mauve. That is the one I wanted. I really do wish these came in minis. I wish every makeup came in a mini. Yeah, so this is, I swatched this one out. I really liked that one. The Makeup Forever, we're gonna forego. The Merit's already in my cart. The House Labs is already in my cart. This shade, it was too pink for me. The Prada, we're not worrying about. I do really like the Kosas Airbrow. This is one of my go-to eyebrow mascaras, but I'm already using the Morphe one and probably will repurchase the Morphe one because it's $11 compared to $25. And if I go through it pretty frequently, then I can save some money on that. The Rosy Blush, I think was too peachy for me. We already put this in the cart. We're foregoing this. The Kosas one, we already got the shade that we want. The Merit Complexion Foundation and Concealer. So I did swatch this one out, and it seemed a little bit yellow for me when I swatched it on my arm. Again, if I swatched it on my face, it could have been different, but I'm gonna forego it. The Refi cream blush we're gonna forego. Torden, I heard this from an influencer that I watched that she liked it, but I kind of forgot about it. And this Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Memorize cream eyeshadow and Oyster Pearl has been on my loves list forever, but it probably will not make the cut because I do have one that I really do like, the Tom Ford one. I forget what it's called, but it's a very, very similar color that I love. Okay, so that was going through my loves list. Now let's go to my cart. And I know my cart looks big. I know it does. It is big. There's no doubt about it. And I definitely will not be getting all of this stuff. Do not let that number fool you. I will not be getting all this stuff, but this is kind of my first pass of things. And let's see if we can go through this and just like quickly go through. Okay. It's taken some time to like update. All right. So first off, I think I'm going to forego this Armani blush, especially since the other blushes that were around it were also pretty warm. I think I'm going to forego that one. I know for sure I'm going to get the K18. I probably need to decide between the Dior and the House Labs contour stick because when I swatched them, they were pretty similar. Not a decision I'm gonna make right now. You're not gonna get the full picture of my cart, but we're going for the first few passes. The Merit I really liked. The Sarah Creel. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Sarah Creel one. I might need to hear some more reviews on that one first, and then I think I'm gonna get rid of the Tower 28 Long Beach iced tea. I think it's gonna be a little bit too yellow on me. Unfortunately, when you like move things from your cart literally changes all around again. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to get rid of right at this moment. I will definitely do some more passes in my cart in a little bit to really, because this is out of my budget. That's $7.52, even minus 20%, which really 20%, yes, it might be minus, but then you also have taxes on top of it. So a lot of times it's kind of like the same number as if no discount was taken. That is definitely out of my price range. No way. No way, no how. So I do need to go through here. I need to be more vicious of cutting things out of my cart. But as of right now, this is what my cart looks like. And yeah. So that is my first few pass-throughs of my loves list and adding things to my cart. You can hear my inner monologue of what I'm thinking to myself. You can see how I definitely have a type with blushes. And so yeah, I'll have to take a few more moments to like really comb through stuff, to really whittle it down so it is within my budget of things. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what I end up with. I don't think it will be bad. I don't think anything I'll get will be bad. Hopefully not. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Let me know if you are choosing to shop the sale. If not, forego this altogether or just enjoy online shopping with me like vicariously. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hype if you're on a mobile app, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.